start looking at your papers.
Ngimisele ke ukuthi ungaqhubeka ungawabukanga lawo maphepha lawo. I would proceed, but tomorrow then or the day thereafter, do not then accuse me about anything, or if there is something else that comes up or that you ask me about.
Thank you.
I will leave the rest out. I will just say whatever, if it's not taken.
Sorry, maybe asizwane. Hasi mina engafuni umthetho. Mina hayi ngenza into yomthetho ithi ngiyenze. Baba ubaloyi. Ufunde incwadi yomthetho.
Tortured by the police, even now I'm being tortured here or abused. Since birth, I've never had any brushes with the law, and it's the state police officers that put me here, that led me to being here.
Let's continue then.
That is what I'm speaking about. If it's not, if it's denied, then or it's not allowed that I do this, then I'm not against it.
Thank you, Mr. Zungu. Let us try.
Let me leave it. I will just say whatever I've said and sit down.
Yeah.
But one day there are those who will be able to assist me or who will assist me.
There's a chair there. If you feel tired, you're welcome to sit down.
I've offered repeatedly. He doesn't want to sit. I've offered him the seat.
Okay, thank you. Now, before our adjournment, you were explaining your journey from Emero, where you got picked up by Kininda in a company of all those other people, and you seated with these other two people, and they were saying to you, you cannot now decide to renege from your undertaking that you would be called Kumalo and all those things. You still remember that?
Sigcine lapho ke ubusasitshela khona ngendlela ke nanihamba usemotweni.
The trial over the 2014 murder of South African star Senzo Meyiwa has been full of twists, but nothing prepared court watchers for what happened on the 12th of November 2025. The day Absalom Zungu, the 67-year-old father of Police Constable Sizwe Zungu, a state witness, was called to testify by the defense for accused number 1 Moses Sibiya. In a packed Pretoria courtroom, Zungu delivered a calm but explosive statement. He categorically denied ever giving any statement to the police about Meyiwa's murder, directly contradicting the investigation's key evidence. This was more than just a surprise appearance. It was a bombshell that could change the whole case. In a dramatic, plain-spoken testimony, Zungu told the court that police narrative was false. He insisted he never made a statement implicating accused number 1 and 2, which is Moses Sibiya and Bongani Ntanzi, despite the claims of lead investigator Brigadier Bongani Kininda. In effort, Zungu was calling foul on the only evidence that had sparked the arrest of the suspects. The courtroom stilled as he spoke. This was the man whose apparently key witness statement had led to the case's so-called breakthrough. When the day began, few expected Absalom Zungu to appear. The defense announced he was taking the stand, and whispers spread like wildfire. From across the country, the public had seen video clips of his son, Constable Zungu, testifying. Now the old man shuffled to the witness stand. Under oath, he confirmed his identity and relationship. He was indeed Sizwe Zungu's father. Then, with quiet certainty, he began to dismantle the state's version of events. Zungu told the judge and lawyers that he never gave any statement to the police implicating the accused. Every claim that had hinged on Zungu's senior statement was false. He said, "I never made a statement to Kininda," he testified, echoing the same denial he had given to reporters in July. His tone was measured but firm. The room listened as he said, if anyone spoke about him giving evidence, it was a lie. Throughout the first scene, Advocate Mnisi, defense counsel for the first accused, guided Zungu throughout his account. They recounted how in 2019, Zungu's policeman's son had visited him in Emelo in Mpumalanga. Constable Sizwe Zungu allegedly wanted his father to falsely implicate the suspects in a statement. Zungu told the court his son had even suggested the elder Zungu pretend his surname was Khumalo when giving that statement. But he had refused. "I disagreed," Zungu said, as Mnisi nodded. This was jaw-dropping. It painted the investigation as a setup. Zungu described how days later he got a call from Brigadier Gininda himself. Gininda asked awkward questions, even calling him by the name Khumalo, Mzilikazi kaMashobane. He asked if Zungu knew Constable Sizwe. Zungu elderly answered truthfully that he said because the man was his son. Zungu was clear. He never agreed to anything, never gave a signed affidavit, never witnessed any crime. The defense calmly walked through this story, step by step, and Zungu collaborated each detail under oath. Now, the father versus investigator. Explosive changes there. The most dramatic moments came when Zungu began accusing the police and even his own son of deception. On the stand, he did not hold back. "It was a lie that I feared coming to court," he told the judge. He explicitly accused his son, Constable Sizwe Zungu, and Brigadier Gininda of cooking up evidence against the suspects. In effect, he claimed they had invented the statement in his name. Every reporter in the gallery snapped photos as he said it. A cold accusation against the lead investigator. These were not throwaway lines. They were sworn testimony. The old man said he felt harassed by phone calls from Gininda, who allegedly tried to bribe him and intimidate him into testifying. In an affidavit submitted earlier, Zungu had written that Gininda once even promised to protect him and send him abroad for safety just to get him to testify. On November 12, he reiterated that claim in court. He portrayed Gininda as pressuring him repeatedly, meeting in Newcastle in 2023, offering money and security in exchange for testimony. Advocate Mnisi grilled Zungu on this point. The tension was palpable. At one moment, Zungu listed all the times his son had pressured him, driving to Mpumalanga, making phone calls, pressing him to help arrest Meyiwa's killers. Each time Zungu said he refused. The atmosphere was like a courtroom showdown. One sided saying, "Here is the statement that caught the killers." The other shouting, "Nope, it never existed." I do know one suspect as my neighbor and another one as my relative. He said, "But I have no knowledge of their involvement in the murder of Senzo Meyiwa." He turned to look at the accused man in the dock and reiterated he had told the truth about his son and nothing more. Zungu's testimony stood in direct conflict with what lead investigator Gininda had told the court. Earlier in the trial, Gininda had testified that the breakthrough in the case came from Zungu Senior's sworn statement implicating Sibiya and Ntanzi. Gininda said he had relied on Zungu's alleged confession to link the accused to the crime scene. The state's case was built on the assumption that this father's statement was genuine. In his July affidavit, Zungu had written, and I quote, "During the court proceedings, Gininda told the court that I told him that Sibiya and Ntanzi were involved in the killing of Senzo Meyiwa," close quote. Now, in court, he said the opposite. The moment was a blockbuster revelation. It directly challenges the credibility of Brigadier Gininda's prior testimony, and the seasoned judge had to note this conflict, but I doubt he noted it because Brigadier Gininda is his favorite and the holy investigator in the whole world. The fallout of Zungu's testimony is immense. For the prosecution, it strikes at the heart of the evidence chain. They had argued that Zungu's supposed statement justified charging Sibiya and Ntanzi. If that statement never existed, one of the keystones is gone. The state will have to explain why Gininda insisted on it. Defense lawyers on all sides will immediately seize on the new doubt. If the accused arrests were based on lie, they will argue, then the suspects deserve freedom. As the court heard Zungu's denials, one could almost hear the word reasonable doubt. On the other hand, the defense, especially for accused number 1 Moses Biya, is energized. This was exactly the moment they had been building towards, a surprise witness who undercuts the case. They can now accuse the police of misconduct and demand that any evidence tainted by Zungu's name be thrown out. In fact, Senzo Miwa's brother Sfiso publicly cheered this development. He told reporters that he always suspected Brigadier Ginindo of fabricating evidence, and he said that with Absalom Zungu's testimony, the case will end. Sifiso even called for Gininda's arrest for perjury. In legal terms, the defense will push for a review of all evidence connected to the now discredited statement. They will argue that the suspect's rights were violated. The judge and prosecutors must now pick through these allegations carefully. They will likely require proof. If Absalom Zungu truly never gave any written statement, it must be shown how one came to exist in police files. Investigators may need to explain the origins of the disputed document. The credibility of all police witnesses, not just Gininda, is under a dark cloud here. Meanwhile, the defense may call more witnesses or evidence to bolster Zungu Senior's claims. Whatever happens next, this was a moment of potential turning side in the trial.